How did you find out you were going to be summer league coach? How did that kind of come together?
Last year, when after our season was over last year, Steve, I talked with Steve, and he told me that he wanted me to be on staff with summer league that year with Willie Green coaching, and then he said, man, and then the following year I would like for you to be the head coach, and that's what he said. Did summer league last year with Willie. Was expecting it, but I always say, man, Steve is a man of his word, and when it came down after the season this year, he said, obviously I want you to come up here, join us with the playoffs, and then you can start preparing for summer league because you're going to be the head coach. So that's how it came about.
I don't think there's a ton of G League head coaches who coach or the head coach in summer league. How kind of unique of an opportunity is that, and what does that say about the synergy between the G League and the Warriors?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable opportunity, and I'm excited about it. Me and Steve have a great relationship, and I feel like he trusts me as a coach, and so for him to allow me to be in this position. Now, mind you, I think a lot of other teams utilizes their assistant coaches to coach summer league. And in our situation, the last 5 years they've been in the playoff, been in the finals. So they've gone a long distance. So and then a couple of them have coached in the summer league. So I think it's just a matter of them getting some time off a little bit, and obviously giving myself and some other the support staff an opportunity.
What are you looking for, Jimmer, especially considering he's going up against a lot of younger guys, a lot of younger guys?
Yeah. The thing about Jimmer, and having Jimmer, for me, a vet like him who's been around, he's going to be great for our young guys, Jacob and Jordan, especially at the guard position, Kai Bowman and them. So he's going to be great. And he has a level of understanding of how to play the game, where a lot of times rookies and younger players are playing a little frantically and a little fast-paced. I ain't going to say out of control, but, he's the guy that can calm us down and stabilize us a little bit and be able to make shots at the same time, because he's still a bucket. He's still a bucket, and so I think it's great for us to have him, and I think he's going to be able to, hopefully get an opportunity to show everybody that he deserves a spot in the league.
How happy were you to see you guys go up to 39, get Smailagic, knowing that you'll be able to continue working with him in Santa Cruz?
Unbelievable, man. I was excited from day one that we had him. Obviously, when we drafted him last year in Santa Cruz, we didn't know what we were getting, right? We didn't know, okay, Smailagic, this young Serbian kid, didn't know anything about him except that he got some potential. And then he came in the first practice. We said, man, we looked at each other and said, yo, that's a first-round draft pick right there. That's a talented player right there. And so to keep him in-house is great, because not only he got talent, for his size, he's very skilled. I don't know how much you guys watched us or seen him play, but he has he played point guard when he was in Serbia for some years, so he got those point guard skills. So he got, he'll get the rebound, push the break, make good passes, go in the post. But the two things that really stood out is the fact that he works his ass off. He always wanted to work. Serbians have a reputation as hard workers on that basketball court like that as well. But he's always working. And then the other thing is he's very confident in his abilities, and the fact he was 18 years old when he came to us, still 18. But he was going up against grown men, and he was battling with them and confidently. Initially, he told me he was a little worried when he first came over about the physicality a little bit and the guys. But I think once he got hit and a couple of times, he realized it didn't hurt, and he just started going at people. And I think the group of guys that we had on our team, and like here we got Juan Toscana on our team, who was on our team in Santa Cruz. They did a great job. Our guys in Santa Cruz did a great job of embracing him as a brother and helping him build confidence and keeping him involved. So, but I'm excited to have him. I was worried that if we didn't move up, that somebody else may take a chance on him, based on his potential. So I was ecstatic that we grabbed him.
So he's 18, 19.
18. So imagine that. He's 18 now, so he would have played high school basketball here.
Yeah.
This past season.
How quickly do you see his game being able to translate as somebody that's 18 will play next year at 19 to the
I,
NBA game?
well, I think the fact that he played in the G League is an advantage for him. Because there's a lot of talent in the G League. There's some guys in the G League that will be on NBA rosters this year, and he went up against quite a few of them and held his own, and actually, killed a couple of them, to be honest with you. So I think, as long as he gets that opportunity to get on that court, then he may take some lumps early on, but it's going to click. Because like I say, he's a hard worker. He's very coachable. He wants to learn, wants to get better, and he's competitive. And I think, that right there to go along with his skill set is going to give him an opportunity to flourish in this league.
What was your experience like working with Evans, and how do you think that?
We just were talking about that with him, over there with Kent and Fatoki. I think it was this year with him when he came down to the G League, it was kind of tough, at times. I could have done a better job with him maybe, but one of the things that it was, like, he came down after the season had started, a couple weeks in or so, whatever. And so we already got roles, and we already got our team kind of, they got a rhythm going on. And then he came down, he did a great job of, coming in, fitting in, and he did a great job with that. But with the Summer League action, and I talked to him before Summer League started, like a couple of days before. I told him, man, this is kind of his show, as far as being a returning player. He's going to be running the point for us. He needs to take on that leadership role, and understand that everybody's going to watch him. From the draft picks to the rest of the Summer League roster are going to be paying attention to his work ethic and what he brings. And so to be a leader out there, and I think, these first two practices, he's been great. He's been great and all that. So, and I think he's excited about that. He has a lot of talent. And I know Willie Green did a great job of working with him. And you can see it. You can see his confidence growing. So I'm excited. I'm excited to, for him to, once we get out there.
How do you think his game translates to point guard?
Yeah.
And his skill set?
Well, I think I'm not going to say he's Andre Iguodala by no means, but from a standpoint of understanding how to play the basketball game, and really kind of a jack of all trades a little bit, doing everything well. And I think he's somebody that he has a high level of understanding, and he picks things up quickly, and so I think he's going to be able to translate. He got great size, obviously. So from offensive end, he's going to understand how to get us in the offense and get the ball where it needs to go. And then defensively, with his length, he could be a real problem. So I think he's going to be great at it, and I think Summer League is a great time for us to really see him.
We saw him working with Willie Green a lot this past year on the side. Can you say anything about specific skill sets, maybe like shooting that he's improved on, or whatever other skill sets?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I seen Willie, working with him a ton throughout the playoffs. Obviously I wasn't up here during the regular season, but throughout the playoffs, watching him, man, working on his pull-up game, and which he has a great pull-up game, and his three-point shot, and getting that consistent. I seen Willie working with him on that a lot as well. So, and you see it, it's translating out here in the practices. He's showcasing some of the things that he and Willie worked on, and he looks good. He has an ability to get to that basket as well and finish, and I think one of the other things that Willie stressed about him is, aside from in the workout going 100%, pushing yourself in the workout, also working on exploding and finishing at the rim. Because, I don't know if you guys know, but the kid pretty athletic. He's pretty athletic, but he don't show it all the time. Sometimes he just he does things, and he looks like he's 6'3", but he actually out there 6'6" or whatever, and really athletic. And he showed that to us in Santa Cruz, surprisingly, and it was like, damn, you got that? So, yeah.
How do you bring that out?
I mean, I think it comes from him with confidence, doing it, and us constantly reinforcing, like, yo, attack, show that athleticism, show that explosiveness that you have. And like I said, it just comes. It's gonna happen in the game. He's gonna realize I can just keep doing it.
What have you seen from Jacob in his practices, and what do you kind of expect from him moving forward than what you saw last year?
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like, Jacob is is a guy that when he was with us in Santa Cruz didn't, we had other guys, because he came in the middle, not in the middle, a couple weeks after we had started. So guys had already kind of been set, like in terms of leadership roles and things like that. Even though he came in and did a great job of fitting in and being a leader in his own right. This is a team, he's a returning player, as is DJ, but he's going to be playing a lot of point for us. So those two things, and a lot of attention is going to be on him. So it's going to be important that he's a leader out there, and he set the tone out here the first couple of days in practice with his attitude, his approach, his communication with his teammates. And I think that's going to be very huge for him moving forward, especially as he, dives into being a point guard.
Last season, with obviously just not getting the playing time that maybe he had hoped and adjusting to the NBA in general.
Yeah, I think he handled it pretty well. I mean, it's tough, right? It's tough to, when you're going back and forth, up and down, between Golden State and Santa Cruz. You come up to Golden State and, you really don't get to play as much, and plus he's on a veteran team, and so when he gets on the court, his role is minimal, and then he comes to Santa Cruz, he got a little more of an expanded role, and it's just, it could be tough for a kid, and I know even like Quinn Cook the year before, he struggled with that early on, going back and forth as a two-way player, but I think the fact that he was able to sit, and he's a student, like Jacob, he's quiet, but he's observant, he watches, and he had a chance to watch, the likes of Andre and Sean, how they are professionally and how they impact games, and it's not always about scoring the basketball. So, I think it was beneficial for him to be around those type of guys, and moving forward it's going to help him as well. And hopefully this summer league he'll have a chance to show it.
What's Jordan Poole and maybe Paschall in
Yeah.
the first couple of days?
Yeah. They're skilled, first and foremost. Jordan is a very skilled player. He got a lot of ball skills. He can shoot the basketball well. I appreciate all these, guys, and I granted it's summer league for them, but they're all coachable, and listening and receptive. You can appreciate that, Jordan, like I say, he has ability to, with his ball skills, get to the paint, but he also can really shoot the basketball in transition and so forth. Paschall, man, he's a confident guy, and I think what I love about him is his energy, especially on the defensive end. He's aggressive, he talks. Obviously he played at Villanova, and they're known for it, and so yeah, he's aggressive, he talks, and offensively, man, he can make shots as well.
Great, thank you. Grab, over here at the side.
Appreciate it.